Friday Night Live, improv from New York City and around the country. Oh, around the world! Amanda's all the way up in Canada, my hometown. Yes, Canada's just a town. We're here every Friday night, and we have a fabulous cast for you this evening. We have Tania Villanueva, Amanda Bigford. Down there's Mike Lawler in the center square, taking up Paul Lynn's spot. We got Don Slovin, and we have Bridget Madsen. Oh, and Stephanie Falciano. Hello, and EJ Huerta. And I am Scotty Watson. The first thing we're going to do, I introduced you to the actors, but I haven't introduced you yet to the characters. See, we're going to play a game called Goon River, and we're going to meet the lovely inhabitants of the very, very, very small town of Goon River. And they're going to talk about a special day in the life of Goon River. They're going to tell us about a day. Well, what is a big event in the life of a small town? Go ahead and shut
A new puppet theater.
A new puppet theater. A new puppet theater. So in Goon River, you see, they got this new puppet theater. And I'll tell you something about the people of Goon River. They're nice people. They're salt of the earth folk. But they're opinionated. Nobody was on the fence. There were some people that were for it, and some people that were against it, but everybody had an opinion. All right, this is a good time for you to change your names to reflect the name of your character. And in the meantime, I'm going to get started with Dixie Daisy. Dixie Daisy from Goon River. Can you... Oh dear, you're very excited. Can you tell us what you did in Goon River and whether you were for or against the new puppet theater?
Well, I own the local place called Luxurious Life. And we sold supplements. We sold everything from creatine, HGH, hydrochlorics, hydrochlorozone, hydrochlorofoam, hydrogen peroxide. Don't drink the bleach, though. Anyway, all sorts of supplements, and we make acai bowls.
Sure.
I tell you, people think they used to think those acai bowls were good for you. No.
I don't know what they are at all. So you had the big health food store and the supplement store. So tell me, what was your position on the puppet theater? Oh, it looks like it's good.
I love puppets. They're so damn cute. These little sock puppets and all different kinds of puppets. Oh, just so exciting. Love it. I loved this idea of the puppet theater coming to town.
That is wonderful. I think you should think about getting a part-time gig there. You seem to get the whole puppet thing.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So thank you, Dixie Daisy, and you are in favor. Edith Furuncle. I apologize. Can you tell us what you did, and whether you were for or against the puppet theater?
Well, frankly, I'm very much against the puppet theater because I'm the artistic director of the community theater, which uses human beings and not freakish little representations of human beings. So, yeah, don't like it.
Oh, you don't? You absolutely are against it. Now, for the vast majority of cases, the community theater is not really a full-time job. Did you do anything else in Goon River, or?
My pies are famous. I sell those out of my kitchen. So my buttermilk pies, that's my other source of income.
So kind of a gig economy like every other actor. Okay, I get that. Really, really nice meeting you. Hey, Orville Whoopie, I hope I'm saying it right.
Oh, yes.
Tell us about yourself.
Well, thank you. I am the owner of the Whoopie Ice Cream Parlor here in Goon River. And I have to say I'm very much for the new puppet theater. They're right next door to the Whoopie Ice Cream Parlor. Lots of business coming my way.
Yeah, the people see the puppets, then they want to have a little ice cream after. That is going to be a goon for the economy. See what I did there?
Free scoop for you.
Trying to, yeah. I'm sorry, Alexa. You seem very Alexa Winthrop. You seem very preoccupied with your hair. What did you do in Goon River? And tell me about the puppets.
Um, I'm a a freshman in high school,
Okay.
and I'm not happy about the puppet theater coming in
Oh.
because I have this like serious phobia about puppets.
Oh,
They're like creepy. They're creepy. They like these little like little marionette things, and then they come at you. And when I was a kid, not like grown up like I am now. There's all these. My parents had this puppeteer come to my birthday party, and it was like a clown puppet, and it was not good. So no.
Oh, I'm sorry that happened to you. Well, years of therapy will probably help. Miss Stiff. That seems like that's an interesting name, Miss Stiff. Tell us about yourself.
I've said that my whole life. I've never understood why. My name is Miss Stiff. I am head volunteer at the Goon River Chapel of the Lord. I am vehemently, and I must say vehemently, against such a thing as a puppet theatre. It's bad enough we have a community theatre. Expression, creativity, it's the work of the devil. Do not forget, it says in the Bible, a puppet on the left hand is the sign of the devil. Puppets are distrustful. Puppets are false. Don't believe what you read.
Wow, I would like to know where it says that in the Bible. What
Ecclesiasticals.
the ecclesiasticals? Yes. No, that happens. The ecclesiasticals. I hear you. Okay, sure. I respect your opinion. Goonie Grouch. That's a fun name with a exclamation mark at the back. What did you do in Goon River, Goonie Grouch?
I was building my house on my land until these people came in and just took it over. Edith knows what I'm talking about. I mean, I had a little house, built it from the bottom to the top.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, this parade of actors and Goonies and ice cream parlor people, and they just came and took over my land. Why shouldn't I be a grouch about it?
Oh, I thought Grouch was your family name.
That is too. But I'm living up to my name.
So it seems like it was fate that you would be grouchy.
It's so weird.
And other than own a house, which was built from the bottom up, which is the traditional way to build them. Other than that, what do you do in Goon River?
I plant, and I grow this kind of a hydroponic sort of field that I have.
Okay,
And a garden. Yeah, I do.
I'm going to hook you up with my friend Dixie a little later so that you guys can talk about your
Oh, good. I hope she's in a good mood.
Hey, I'm going to take a shot at saying your name. Libery Fupa.
Ah, you got that right.
Oh, excellent. Thank you. It's nice to meet you, Libery Fupa.
Yeah. I'm the new owner of the theater that the community theater now resides. And Edith has just given me the opportunity to be the lead in the new play. Oh. So I am against a puppet theater coming in where a puppet might steal my part because I am so incredibly talented. And I did mention I own the theater.
Yes, well.
Building.
No,
not the theater, the building.
Yeah, that's how it's done. That's you're like the Niedermeyers of Goon River.
What's a Niedermeyer?
Hey, I want to talk about the day before the puppet theater opened. I'd like to know on that day who you saw and who you talked with, because some of you were for it and some of you were against it. I'd like to know what preparations you took the day before the puppet theater opened. Can I start with you, Alexa? You seem you were the most traumatized by, I think, the puppets. What did you do the day before the theater opened?
Oh, I'm taking theater at school, and so I've been volunteering to work backstage at the community theater for Edith, and because I do not want to be like out front and center. That is too much. But I love to watch and I love to support. So I was there with Edith, and I was like literally learning the ropes for the curtains and stuff, and it was so cool. I mean, it's so cool. And then Orville came by, and he brought some ice cream over for Edith, and that was like he makes the best peanut butter cup ice cream. But then I heard them. So like I was, kind of wandering around a little bit exploring, and I heard them get into this fight. And I think Orville brought the ice cream over. I think it was like because he likes Edith. Like I think they're a thing, but I didn't hear what the fight was about, but I don't know if they're a thing anymore.
Let me go check with Edith. Edith, I understand that the day before the puppet theater opened, you got into a big fight with Orville.
Well, I wouldn't say it was a big fight. It was a small tiff, perhaps. Pies and ice cream sometimes don't get along.
Oh, wow. Those are fighting words where I'm from.
Well, it's a personal feeling I hold to my heart.
So what was the fight about? What was the...
Orville wanted me to start selling my pies in his shop, which would normally be a wonderful thing, but it's directly next to my rival theater. How could I put business into the hands of the theater? It was impossible.
I see. So you took a principled stance. Let's talk to Orville about this. Orville, I understand you got into a big fight with Edith because you wanted her to sell her pies in your shop, and what happened?
Well, it was a great idea, and it broke my heart because I've always been fond of Edith, and I brought over her favorite, the peanut butter cup ice cream, with whipped cream and pralines on there, and she makes the best pies. Oh my God.
Sure.
Her peanut butter pie, her cherry pie, amazing. And I thought, come on, Edith, community theater, puppet theater, it's a natural. But she took that peanut butter ice cream and smeared it all over my face, my beautiful offering, and I ran away, hid in the back of my ice cream store.
Were you hurt? Or does it sound like you were emotionally hurt?
Emotionally hurt. Yeah, I've always been very fond.
I hear you. Hey, I said that I would check in on Dixie, and I better do that now. Dixie, first I found out that Goonie Gooch is growing things on her land, but tell me about the day before the puppet show opened and what you were up to, who you saw.
A lot of people in this town need some CBD and some herbs to calm down, and Alexa needs a shot of B12. And they'll bring her right up. So she gets out of that funk. She's all down, depressed. I'll tell you. Now, this bull with the community theater, you've got a puppet show coming in. A puppet.
Very exciting.
Yeah. The puppet theater is going to have community-based theater where we actually talk about the town's real problems, real depression and craziness and affairs. The affair with Edith and Orwell. Oh, well, let me just tell you, quick
Yep.
Orville,
Yep.
I love that peanut butter ice cream with the pralines and all that other stuff. Let me just tell you, if you're going to have an acai bowl, you might as well just go for the peanut butter ice cream. So I do not look at him as a threat because there's always going to be need for B12, CBD, HGH, creatine, hydrochlorosone, and hydrogen peroxide.
Keep away from sugar is my only advice.
No sugar. There's no sugar in our except the acai. That's what I'm telling you. It's bad. But Miss Stiff,
Yes.
she comes around quite often. I think she's going through withdrawal because we have a little place down. You gotta show your license, and you can go underground to get the real stuff. And you shoot it right into your arm, and sometimes in your butt.
Oh, well.
And if you don't stay on your cycle, you get a little more uptight than the usual uptight that she is.
Well, let's go check with her. Miss Stiff, I understand that you were at Dixie Daisy's the day before the puppet show opened, picking up your, I'm going to put it in air quotes, so you know it's sarcastic, supplements.
It's actually a prescription and it's doctor approved. And by the way, I think one's medical business is one's medical business. I was actually on my way back the day before this ridiculous farce is about to open to see a kerfuffle going on with Mr. Whoopi and Miss Farkunkel or whatever her ridiculous name is from the community theatre. I mean, really, Mr. Whoopi should know by now. It says in the Bible, thou shalt not entice a woman to sell her pies. Yes, Triceratops 316.
Yes, I recognize that. Saw it on a bumper sticker once. That makes total sense. Okay, La Berry Fupa, what were you doing the day before the puppet show opened?
Well, Edith tells me that the greatest actors, they practice alone in what she called the green room, which is right behind the stage. So I was right behind the stage and I was doing the vocal exercises she gave me to do. She said, breathe in and say at the top of my lungs, ice cream, peanut butter ice cream. And on the way down, and when I exhale, I should say pie at the top of my lungs.
Good. But did you see anybody? You were preparing for your performance, of course, but
No, she had me locked in the green room while I was practicing at the top of my lungs.
that seems like a good idea. That seems like a brilliant idea. Hey, speaking of things that are green, let's go talk to Goonie Grouch. We've talked to a lot of people in this town about what they were doing the day before the puppet show opened up. But we haven't talked to you. And I would think that for somebody as grouchy as you are, and considering what's growing on your property, did you have any visitors? Did you see anyone that day?
I couldn't. I was building my greenhouse, getting ready to put the plants in the greenhouse. And here comes a group of people with ice cream, peanut butter sandwiches. And they just came and started strolling along, having their little puppet show when I didn't even give them permission.
They went right through your property.
They went right through.
So what did you do? What did you do when you saw them?
I was in shock. I couldn't. I just looked, wondering what the heck was that. And as soon as they left, I started just putting the plants in the greenhouse. There was nothing I could do.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. All right. Now I want to talk about the unfortunate incidents that surround the opening of the puppet theater, the day that everything happened. Let's start with you, Orville. What happened to you that day?
Well, I got one of Edith's beautiful peanut butter pies that I've been saving in my freezer. And I brought it over to the puppet show. I was going to sit right in the front row. I had my gallon of ice cream. It was going to be so good. Wow. And I walked into that beautiful puppet theater with the streamers all over the top of it, the lights were going, and I walked right down, and I put that pie down right in front of my seat. And I looked around, and as I looked around, I put my foot right on top of that frozen peanut butter pie.
Oh.
The pie went flying. I landed on my head, and that was it.
Wow. Considering you were about to eat a pie and a gallon of ice cream, you weren't killed as much as you were prematurely ended. I'm just saying. Okay. Liberi Fupa, tell me what happened on the day that the puppet theater opened.
Pie, 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 peanut butter. Pie, 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 pie. Well, I was in the green room, working diligently, and then I heard a screaming and both male and female sounds that sounded like they were doing vocal exercises on their own. And I opened the door, and I was surprised to see that Orville and Edith were, I don't really want to say it, it might be, a family group here, but you get the idea. And I went, pie, 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 peanut butter, and both of them looked at me, were so offended, they grabbed a chair and a table, threw it at me, and I died.
So you were killed by Orville and Edith. Oh, okay. That's very interesting because
it says in the Bible something about that, but I don't know exactly what.
Thou shalt not eat a whole pie by yourself. Okay. We're gonna circle. Don't you worry. We'll find out exactly what was going on there. Hey, Goonie Grouch, tell me about the day the puppet theater opened and what happened to you.
You know what? I went to my greenhouse, put the plants in, heard music coming from it. Sure. So I said, you know what? Let me give it a shot. How grouchy can I be?
Man.
So I went in, and you know what? I didn't like it. So I went back and started planting as fast as I could before they got out and made a mess out of my garden.
Yeah. And then my understanding is that you met your demise that day.
I did, but what can I do? All I can do was think about what I was going to do next for the next day, because I had to have these things in by 5 o'clock the next day. What was I supposed to do? I just had to deal with it.
Sure. So you were putting the plants in the greenhouse, working very, very hard.
Right.
Now I understand you died that day. So what happened between putting the plants in the greenhouse and being dead?
Well, I did. However, the smell of the plants that I had just planted from the hydroponics has a formaldehyde thing, smelling sort of thing in it that just revived me. And I couldn't believe it.
That revived you?
That revived me.
Okay, I'm asking about what killed you.
What killed me was the smell of the plants and the smell that was coming from the tents of the puppets. The wood smell.
You were killed by the smell of puppets.
It was so horrible. It was like a toxic, non-smelling wood smell. I can't describe it.
That is terrible, and that is a first. Hey, Miss Steph, tell us about the day that the puppet show opened and how you met your demise.
Really? It was a Thursday, and that's usually my day to try out the communion wine and make sure it's okay for Father Scott. So I was feeling a little heady, and I decided to get out my old sign from the 1960s when I used to protest Punch and Judy, flagrant sinners. And I marched up and down outside, Punch and Judy, flagrant sinners. That ridiculous Dixie Daisy, whatever her name is. Well, she must have been in some medicated haze or something. She came outside with puppets, and they were jeering at me, sneering and jeering, and caused me to lose my footing. My sensible shoe was caught in a grate, and I fell flat on my face, and I'm ashamed to say I died.
Oh, you died of a smashed face. That's one of the worst.
Face.
Wait, oh. Dixie, I understand that you were right there. What must have been A, traumatizing, and B, what happened to you?
Well, let me just explain to you that we were on the same team as Miss Stiff.
Yeah.
You know, she doesn't get it. We love her protest signs. That was community-based theater. That's why the puppets were here. And they were here to entertain us and explain all the stories that go on in our town.
Yeah.
Edith and Orwell and this scandalous, ridiculous sexual affair that they had right almost in front of the owner of the theater.
I know.
I mean, it was crazy. So Miss Stiff comes and she's got her protest signs, and the puppets were giving me a little premiere.
Sure.
It was awesome. We were drinking our protein shakes.
Sure.
And we go outside, and there she is. So she's there protesting, and she falls, hits her head, and her wooden sign, the wood piece, as she slipped, breaks off and goes right into my skull.
Oh.
Oh my God. It was awful.
At least it was organic.
Yes.
It was organic, and it's not so bad up here, you know? It's not so bad.
Oh, I seem to have plenty of energy. Alexa, what happened to you? How did you meet your demise on the day that the puppets happened?
Well, I always thought that Edith and Orville were so nice, you know. But that day I found out that they really weren't. And you know, because I was in the sound booth, you know, prepping for a show, like learning the things and stuff like that. And I heard all this loud sound, and then I walked out, and Mr. Fupa was, I can't talk about it because it's too upsetting. But the thing is that there he was, dead on the floor, and I was like, and they saw me that I saw, and then Edith came after me with a raised frozen pie, and then I don't remember after that, but I was dead.
Okay. So we started this conversation with Orville, and we're going to end it with Edith. Edith, I understand that on the day of the opening of the puppet theater, you killed Mr. Fupa with Orville using a table, after my understanding is you were making love on the table. And then you killed Alexa with a frozen pie. What happened to you?
Well, first of all, let me explain. Those were both accidents.
They don't sound like accidents.
I know the circumstances look suspicious.
Okay.
Orville was very upset. We just recommitted our love, rejoined, if you will, together as two souls, as one.
Boinked.
I know Orville well enough to know that when he's upset, he's going to binge on pie and ice cream, so I followed him, to my chagrin, into the puppet theater. And when I saw my sweet Orville laying on the floor, I panicked. I ran backstage to try to get help from somebody. I got caught up in all those damn puppets, and the more I struggled, I was choked to death in puppets.
You were strangled by, oh, that is fate, my friend, because wow, I'm so sorry about everybody and how they went. And that is all the news from Goon River. Thank you for sharing your stories. You lovely people. Give yourselves a round of applause. And thank you for being with us, because it's Friday night. It's live. It's Improv from New York City. And we're going to be back with more of this Improv from New York City in just a few moments. So stay right there.